In a major escalation of tensions, the United States have intercepted 2 Russian and 2 Chinese bombers which were flying off Alaska. A US defence official confirmed that this was the first time that 2 countries had flown together near Alaska. Let's bring in my security expert now, Lincoln Parker. Link, how big a deal is this, given where they were and the fact that they're doing it together?
Well, it's a massive deal, and what it really shows is a 4-year-long failure of foreign policy from the Biden and Harris administration. Because the last thing that the world wanted or needed was Russia and China to now be partnering up in an axis together and flying bombers. Now, they weren't just bombers, they were strategic bombers, and the word strategic in this sense refers to nuclear capable. And they flew into US territory or into their air defence identification zone around Alaska. And it just shows how these two nations are partnering and getting ready for war.
I reckon if Trump had been in office, there is no way in hell they would be so bold.
No. Well, we've seen weakness in leadership. We don't even know who the President of the United States is right now. We have Vice President Kamala Harris coming out and making statements where it sounds like she is making statements as the President, but she isn't the President. And so there's a lot of turmoil and chaos going in Democratic circles in the United States right now, which is making the US vulnerable and looking weak.
And the rest of us by extension,
right.
Clearly. Now, this has just come in, and forgive me because I haven't seen this yet, but not long ago, the PM, Anthony Albanese, has released a joint statement with Canadian PM Justin Trudeau and New Zealand PM Christopher Luxon, appealing for a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, the statement says an immediate ceasefire is needed desperately. Civilians must be protected. Now, I don't think anyone, I can't imagine, would not want the pain and the hurt and the war to end in Gaza. But they've still got hostages. Hamas is still there. I am so, again, confused.
Well, it's a continuation of this anti-Jewish, anti-Israel narrative, and we saw Vice President Kamala Harris say something very similar today to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And he's like, are you serious? We were attacked. They killed, brutally murdered innocent Israeli men, women and children, and we're trying to take and protect our nation, and yet you're on the side of the terrorists that are killing us. So, if you're Jewish and you're an Israeli, you're thinking, why does the world hate Jews?
Yeah, I don't know how they just keep going. It's unbelievable. Military aircraft, what has the Albanese government done? And why are you laughing? Because that does not fill me with confidence.
No, well, we've gone and spent $800 million on developing a top-class drone. It used to be called Loyal Wingman, but we can't say man in any sort of sense anymore.
Hey, you know what? This is a safe space for you to say man. I will allow it on my show.
Thank you. But
You're welcome.
They changed it to Ghost Bat, a much more attractive name. As I said, they've spent almost $1 billion on it, and instead of, because we would need armed drones if war is coming, you'd think, right? That's the whole sort of concept of the Australian Defence Force. But Albanese has decided to not arm the drones and therefore just make them reconnaissance. But we've already spent many millions of dollars on the Triton platform, which is already a reconnaissance platform. So this is the most expensive Rolls-Royce flying drone for reconnaissance that you've ever seen. And it just goes to show what kind of waste that the Albanese government is doing to our Defence Force when we should be investing in protecting ourselves and arming ourselves as best we can.
Quick answer, are we getting closer and closer to World War III with every day?
Oh, absolutely, no doubt.
And we're aware of it?
Well, we're not aware of it. The Prime Minister is not preparing us. He's not preparing business. All our trade goes up through the South China Sea, and that will stop in war. But we're not prepared.
Sitting ducks. Link, brilliant as always. I wish you were wrong sometimes, but you rarely are. In fact, never. Thank you. Really appreciate it.